vlog today, we're gonna go over what I think are some essential things and things that I wish I knew about when I was starting out as a barber. So we'll go through the list, but I wanna make sure I'm clear. You gotta start somewhere, start in your garage, anything like that. But if you find out that this is truly your passion, just remember, there's so many things to do in this industry. Don't let nobody tell you there's no future in this, because it's an industry that changed my life. Let's get started. Shout out to Lost Boys for the hoodie. Even though it's like 80 degrees outside, it was cold this morning, I promise. At Studio 45. All right, so wifey had an appointment today. I'm gonna pull up at the studio because I'm waiting for Danny to get done with a meeting or a drop off. He's dropping off some product. So once he's done with that, I got to link with him and we got to run some errands. But let me pull up on the wife. I know y'all probably thinking, damn, that truck is dirty. Bruh, it's the work truck, man. Give me a break. Studio 45. So obviously it's still a work in progress. I haven't been here in a few days. All right, so let's get to what you guys came to this video for. Getting started as a barber. We'll start with, you're in the garage right now, you're cutting hair, you want to make barbering a career. What do you do? Every state is different. You need to Google what's required in your state to become a barber. Some states, they allow apprenticeship. Some states have only schools and you have to go to schools. Some states, bro, like you got one school in the entire state. So apprenticeship would be the most convenient way to go. You have to go and do your research by Googling, getting a barber's license, and then putting your state. And most of the time you'll see like a state website, a government website, a barber's board or something like that, that'll tell you what you need to do to become a barber. I typically recommend a good school over a good apprenticeship. Just because good school, you're gonna learn from more than one person, you're gonna get a lot of reps, you're gonna get the book education, and where apprenticeship, it's really, you're kind of independent. You're kind of homeschooled. Take that for what it is. Everybody's different. Everybody sees schooling, in different lights. So now, what tools do you need? You need to learn about sanitation, and you need to have one of these to keep your combs cleaned and any other thing sanitized. You're gonna need Cool Care for your clippers and your blades. And you wanna spray this on your clippers before and after every haircut. I'm looking for my clipper oil. I can't find my clipper oil. I found the clipper oil. You need clipper oil. Clipper oil is gonna keep your clippers running smooth. The blades aren't gonna be loud and it's gonna cut hair nicely. I typically just oil my clippers once a day. I feel like, Andis and all these clipper companies, they'll tell you to oil your clippers before and after every haircut as well. And then you just got oil everywhere. And it's messy. I have found over the last like 10 years, bro, I don't need to oil my clippers after every haircut. I just do it once a day and that does the job. One thing people don't know is that it's legal to cut hair in most states as long as you are not charging for it. As long as you're not doing it for profit. It's not a business. You can cut hair in your home, okay? So in the meantime, you're getting your license, you're cutting hair at school, all that good stuff. That's good to go, but and most of this stuff your school's gonna provide you. Some schools don't give you good clippers or good trimmers or even a decent pair of shears. My school gave me shears that had plastic handle. It might have changed now, but that was my experience. Now, before we get into clippers, we need to you need to understand how important lighting is, okay? Get you a ring light. These are like $100 on Amazon, I think, if you don't have a well-lit space. So if you're cutting in your garage, chances are that space is not lit well enough, but a ring light will be sufficient enough because you can move it, you can maneuver it. Sometimes if you're hanging up like shop lights and stuff, it's still gonna cast shadows. At least with a ring light, $100, you can maneuver it, you can make it so that it works. Now let's talk about what y'all probably been waiting for, the clippers. Yes, again, we're in construction, okay? But you can see that those are some clippers that I actually have on my station. But I also have some clippers here and some trimmers. I have some here. And I'm sure I have some other clippers hanging around here, like the wall detailers. I do have the cordless wall detailers. I have corded details. I have a whole bunch of clippers at my house. I also have these on display. But I have a whole lot of tools. So I think I can tell you what I would start off with if I was a beginner barber. So if you're a beginner barber, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. Even though to me, it's like the difference between a $200 clipper and a $100 clipper. If it works well, it's worth the extra $100 or whatever. But you don't need it. This is what I would start off with. If I was a school, this is probably what I would give to my students. So I would give a pair of slimlines. These are all modified, but the regular blade works good enough. I used the regular blade for years, okay? This one was modified by Concise the Barber. This one was modified by 86 Customs. There are tutorials where you can modify them yourself. And I would give a choice of Magic Clips or Sterling Fords. The reason why is because Sterling Fords have the beveled blade, hard to zero gap though, and the Magic Clips have that flat, and this one's rusted blade. I don't know why it's rusted. It's a brand new pair of Magic Clips that's never used. I don't know why that's rusted, but something must have spilled or whatever. This would be the setup that I would give in a school. I also have a pair of slimlines here that were modified by Drew. There you go. You wouldn't need them modified. I would just get the regular blade for now. I think these will run you like $70 maybe. You could probably get them even cheaper. These are going for like 80 on Amazon. So for like $150, you have a really good, reliable, professional set. Those clippers are gonna come with guards. They're gonna come with pretty much everything you need, but you're gonna need combs. Now you don't need these YS Parks that cost $12 to $20 a piece. You don't need this Utsumi clipper comb that costs like $9 to $10 a piece. But you do need a decent pair of combs. Combs are super important. To me, they're more important than the actual shears you use. A comb is what gives you control and tension. Luckily for you, Wall gives a decent pair of clipper combs with their clippers. So you don't need to buy clipper combs. However, what you will need is a decent pair of combs. Okay, let me see if I can find, oh, here we go. So these are Beauty, whatever, what are they? You know what? The brand doesn't matter, okay? You need a comb that has tension, just like this, and has a wide tooth comb. Doesn't have to have a parting tooth like this, but this is a multi-purpose comb. This side is great for tension. This is good for scissor over comb or combing through thick hair. Now, as long as you can find a comb like this, okay, that's a decent quality, decent material, nice plastic, or carbon plastic, and most beauty supply stores have this, okay? Sally's has them, Cosmoprof has them, and your local barber supply store probably has them too. What you don't wanna use is a rat tail comb. You don't wanna use something like this. Believe it or not, barbers are doing it. Something like this to control or to cut with shears on top, okay? So get you a nice multi-purpose comb, get you a decent clipper comb, a brush for fading and clearing debris. I like to use, so this brush right here is $16, or it's like $20 on Amazon, but a good equivalent is like a baby brush. It's super soft and they're like $2 online, okay? And then you need a vent brush, something to blow dry, a brush to blow dry with. This one right here, I believe is like $16, but you could get decent vent brush from even Walmart, okay? You need a spray bottle for your water or your aftershave. But honestly, if you buy hair products, when you're done with them, you could just use them for water. Remember, we're talking to beginner barbers, right? I don't want you guys to spend the bag before you even get started. Now, you need a decent pair of shears. Now, the shears that you buy are totally your preference. What you want to do is go to a beauty supply store that will let you actually hold them, control them, see how it feels in your hand. Something that has an offset, and what I mean by that is, here's your finger hole, here's your thumb hole. It's a little bit more to the left, that's offset. And you can also have offset to where it's kind of like twisted that way, okay? They come in all different shapes, all different sizes. This is our Tomb 45 shear, as you can see. Very, very versatile shear. It's not offset here, it's dead on. The thumb holes are pretty small, but it's like that on purpose because it forces you to use the tip of your thumb to open and close. And then you have some pretty good control like this as well. You don't even need these to get started. These are about $100 online, $125 online. A shear like this, for example, I believe this is like $400 right here. I wouldn't tell you to go get those shears if you're starting off in your garage, but get you something decent. And then I would say for most of your cutting, you're gonna use a 5.5 inch or a 6-inch shear. For bulk cutting, you're gonna use a 7-inch shear. Okay, this would be like a 7-inch shear right here. These Vidal Sassoons, I'm not Vidal Sassoons, these Sam Villas, these are 7-inch shears. And then these are 5.5s, you can see. And then This is a 6-inch shear. 6-inch is like the most versatile. I always recommend this for beginners because you can use 6-inch shears pretty much for everything. It's multi-purpose. You don't need blending shears, you don't need thinning shears, but if you can get some thinning shears or some blending shears, amazing. Get a pair, try them out. These are thinning shears by Sanvia. And then 245, we have our own thinning shears as well. But again, I would go with something cheap just to start off. Now, next up, you're going to need a shaver. I don't have any of my wall or my Andis shavers. I do have these shavers and I have the Babyliss shavers. I would definitely spend money on some shavers. I don't know right now which is the cheapest shaver, but start off with something cheap. Anything from Wall, anything from Babyliss, anything from Andis, or any of the professional brands. They all seem to be pretty affordable, and they all work pretty good. Some definitely better than others. But to start off with, just start off with the cheapest one you can find on Amazon. And then you're gonna need a blow dryer. This is a Dyson blow dryer. Customized, wrapped with 245. It's not wrapped, it's actually car paint. But this blow dryer is gonna run you like 400 bucks. If you go to hair shows, because you have a license, it'll be even cheaper, but you don't have a license right now. Or you do, you're a student, but you shouldn't be spending $300, $400 on a blow dryer anyways. Hopefully your school gives you a decent blow dryer, but if they don't, you want something that has settings. You want something that you can adjust the flow, the airflow, whether it be low airflow, medium, or high. And then you want something that you can adjust the temperature. And then you want something that gives you a cold shot. A cold shot is usually that blue ice-looking button that cools the air. Believe it or not, schools do give out blow dryers that don't have any of those features. It's on, hot, or no hot. That's it. So make sure you have a decent blow dryer. You can get them for cheap at Walmart, whatever, to get started. Use your mom's, use your wife's, I don't know. You're gonna need a razor holder. They have really cheap razor holders for like $5 at your local beauty supply stores. This is the 245 triple cartridge razor. Comes with 3 different cartridges, so you can have different adjustments. And what I mean by that is, some people like their razor to pop out a little bit. See that? Typically the ones that are like $5, there's no exposure. The razor doesn't pop out at all, and it's hard to see the razor. And so it's a little bit harder to have control and sharper lines. So if that's not a big deal to you, get the one for $5. If not, find something that has exposures. This one has 3 different exposure options. Non-exposed, which is great for like bulk shaving, and then it has medium exposure, and then it has like real big exposure, which I wouldn't recommend for beginners. But as you start getting comfortable and you want to see some more blade and more corners, the super exposed is definitely something like barbers like. These barber chairs, they're $100. At Headlines, we have chairs that are $3 grand, which are like our custom old school chairs. And we have chairs that are $700, which are like our Pibs chairs that most of our barbers have. These chairs I got for the studio because nobody's really gonna be using them, and they're just for classes. But you don't even have to buy a $100 chair. You can use the computer chair you have at home, the bar stool, or the bar chair that turns, that swivels, that you have at home, or buy one for $30 used, or go to Walmart and buy one of those bar stool swivel ones from freaking Walmart, just to start off. I will say this, if you're really about that life, you can go on Facebook and find chairs like this used for like $40, bro. These right here are tripods for mannequins. You can get, these aren't cheap mannequins, these are from Pivot Point, but you can get some nice mannequins for literally 30 bucks on Amazon, and you can get these mannequin stands for the same price. So you can practice your shear work and stuff. As far as clipper guards come with these clippers, so you'll be fine with that. And I don't know if I covered everything, but I think I covered a lot. A styling comb, something with wider teeth if you want it. You don't need it. I'm sure you can find something at home. Talc powder, something to dust off your clients. You could use a towel. You don't need to buy nothing for that. You could use a towel, use your blow dryer just to blow off the hair. And then clips for the tops of people's hair to clip away hair. But I think that's about it. Oh, and a barber cape. You're gonna need a barber cape. Something decent. You don't need nothing crazy. You can find barber capes for $10. Or you do what I still do when I forget my cape and just use like a sheet or a towel or something. And also, sanitation, guys, aftershave or alcohol or something to clean off your client's skin after a haircut. You want to protect your clients from getting any type of infections. But I mean, I think that covers most everything, at least all the important stuff. If I missed something, put it in the comment section below. Help out, anybody who's just starting out on their barber journey. Let's try to keep elevating the game. Here's the thing. I'm not doing these videos, and I gotta do a full disclaimer here. I'm not doing these videos to try to teach people how to cut their own hair. I think you should leave it to the professionals. Unless you enjoy it and it's something that you love doing, knock yourself out. But a lot of people are trying to do it to save money and sacrificing their image. I'm sorry, but to save, like, you should be spending those 2 hours you spend cutting your own hair. You should be using that time, I feel like, if it's not your hobby or it's not something you enjoy doing, try to make more money, bro. Like, keep it real with you. Or spend that time with your family or something. Like, there is value in time. You can't get time back. So a lot of times services are done. There's a lot of services out there that we can do ourselves, but we don't do it because we don't want to spend our time doing that, because time is more precious than money to me. So like landscaping, cutting my lawn, I don't cut my own lawn. I'm not spending all that time every single month cutting my own lawn. I'll pay somebody to do that. See what I'm saying? But if it's something that you enjoy doing, more power to you. Watch the channel. But that's not why I'm doing this. The reason why I'm doing this is because I've met so many people who want to become barbers, but they're not informed. They don't know what they're getting themselves into, and they're afraid, fear, right? And a lot of people also don't know this side of our industry. And so that's why we lack a lot of respect for what we do, and people don't appreciate the craft and the service that we give them. So that's why, people give value to certain services, and they're willing to pay a certain price for what they perceive that value to be. And if they think barbering is just something anybody can do, obviously the value is not going to be there. We're going to continue to charge mediocre prices forever. Anyways, like I was saying, I'm doing it for the guys who need some guidance. And not just that, there's so many people who are coming into this industry and they do apprenticeships with people. They go to schools and their standard is set there. And as we know, there's people in this industry that are guiding barbers the wrong direction. They're not treating this like a profession. And what I want to tell you guys is the reason why I'm doing this is to guide our future barbers, the next generation of barbers, and where this industry is going, and to guide you towards a professionalism route, right? I want you guys to treat this like it's a real career, like it's a real profession. And so I'll keep making these videos in hopes that it helps. And if you guys see value in this and you want to help me provide value, then comment below anything that I might have missed. That way we can help guide this barber culture the direction that it deserves to be in. I'll leave you with anything in this video, all my beginner barbers, all my barbers in general, all my Tomb 45 barbers. If I can leave you with anything, I would say the #1 essential for you to do is to invest in yourself, is to educate yourself, man. I remember coming up as a beginner barber and I would spend countless hours, bro, obsessed watching YouTube videos, listening to audio books, listening to podcasts. All of these tools that I shared with you mean nothing if the person operating them isn't growing himself. You could start growing your arsenal, you could start growing your clippers, but if you ain't growing yourself, whether that's mind or body or spiritually, you have to invest in yourself over anything. So if you had to choose between going from the magic clips and the slim lines to the cordless seniors and the T outliners, I would tell you, if you had to prioritize that money towards some clippers or something, I would say prioritize it towards a class, prioritize it towards books, information. And it doesn't just have to be barbering books. What you guys got to understand is part of building your clientele isn't just how blurry your fades are. What is my experience going to be like sitting in a chair? Have you ever sat down in a barber chair where you don't even want to conversate with the barber because the stuff that comes out of his mouth? If you notice a lot of barbers who do great and build a crazy clientele, their clients are their friends. They get invited to weddings. They come to the barbershop during the holidays with gift cards for their barbers. And that loyalty is something so important for barbers, and to build a real clientele that's stable, you need that loyalty. And so I would definitely say invest in yourself, read some books. You can start with Rich Dad Poor Dad, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mean, there's so many books. Just go to Audible and go to categories, self-development or business. And in those categories, they'll have a whole bunch of books. I think the membership is cheap as heck. It's like $12 a month or something like that, or $20 a month. And it's worth every single penny. you know, and take classes, go to hair shows, but don't just go to hair shows to see what the next nice product is or to just do a barber battle. Take the classes. And if the class is bad, don't waste your time, walk out. Like, I'm sorry. If the class is whack, then don't waste your time, because then you're going to base your experience in that class on shows in general, and it might keep you from going to that one show that has that one class that might change your life. You feel me? So definitely. Once you have the essential tools that you need to get started, your next step should be the tools you have in here and in here. And after that, we just gotta keep leveling up, yo. 245 barbers. That's it. We just gotta keep leveling up.